are joined right now by Andrew Troop, who's a partner in the Pillsbury, Winthrop, Shaw, Pittman's insolvency and restructuring practice. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do with your company and your company overall.
Pillsbury Winthrop is a national law firm that services a wide range of clients with a real focus in a number of areas from an industry perspective. Technology, energy, insurance, just a tremendously deep bench. The firm has been around for a long time. It is got offices throughout the United States and around the world.
And congratulations are in order because you'll be winning an award tonight for your deal with Virginia Conservation Legacy. So tell us about that. Tell us what was involved in that deal.
Well, it was an extremely interesting deal in an extremely active area in restructuring right now. As you may have heard or know, the energy industry is a hotbed, and coal in particular is a part of the energy industry that is resorting to Chapter 11 in order to restructure debt and operations. Last year, Patriot Coal Company filed for Chapter 11 in Virginia. And we were approached and retained by Virginia Conservation Legacy Fund to get involved in that case. And you might say to yourself, wait a minute, you have a conservation legacy fund looking at assets from a coal company. That doesn't go together. What made this just a fascinating case is that VCLF, Virginia Conservation Legacy Fund, is clearly committed to reducing carbon emissions, the growth of carbon emissions in the air, and also reclaiming land, particularly through forestation, as a result to offset the use of carbon or the burning of carbon into the air. And VCLF saw a tremendous opportunity in the Patriot case where the vast majority of Patriot's assets were going to be sold to another company. And there was going to be one operating mine and some mining assets and a lot of liabilities left behind. And what we were able to construct was effectively a cashless transaction where Virginia Conservation Legacy Fund took over an operating mine, also took on liability for workers' comp, black lung, entered into new contracts with the unions in locations which are very much challenged in Appalachia, and has put together a project to work out those claims, use some assets that came along with that process, run a mine, have new union contracts with an eye towards reforestation and reclamation of the land, and helping to move the economy to a sustainable economy that may or may not need to interact with coal. There's so much going on with coal, I'm not going to predict anything about what's going to happen to it as an industry, but it's clearly under a lot of stress. And VCLF has a real vision to how to work with communities in particularly challenged areas like coal to bring about a process. And it was a fascinating case. Right?
I was going to say, that sounds like a fascinating deal. How long did this process take?
Actually not that long.
Really?
Right? VCLF has been thinking about this for a while. But we really got involved in this case probably in the spring of 2015, and we closed the transaction in the fourth quarter.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That was pretty fast considering everything you had to accomplish.
Well, we had to accomplish, Patriot had to accomplish, one of the real pressures on this whole industry is a lack of liquidity. And so Patriot needed to get its deal done. And what VCLF also did is that by taking on a lot of these cleanup obligations, it provided an opportunity to be able to sell the rest of the business to an operating mine company and have a path forward for doing environmental cleanup. And on a meaningful and large scale. And so, it's that is not to say it's not, there isn't risk in this process or risk in this venture, but it is a combination of commitment to union workers, to communities, to environmental cleanup, in the context of trying to create an economically viable enterprise. And it's been a tremendous honor to be involved with the project.
Well, congratulations again on your award.
Thank
now,
you.
let's speak globally as far as opportunities for distressed investors. We know energy is a big one. Where else are you seeing opportunities?
Well, around the world right now, there is a lot of news about a lot of distress. Some of it's been going on for a while, some of it's new. And again, not sure how it will play out,
right.
But where there's distress, there is often opportunity. And so just pick two very large economies in the world. You have China, where there's a lot of news going on about its financial condition. I think I did read this week, China is trying to keep money in the country, which is an interesting development. What its impact will be here in the U.S., where there's been a lot of Chinese investment.
Right.
It remains to be seen. It also remains to be seen what it will do with regard to their own enterprises. But you've got a real issue going on there, particularly a liquidity issue. And liquidity leads to restructuring. Restructuring leads to opportunity. Look at Brazil.
The automotive industry?
Yeah, Brazil, particularly in the automotive industry. You've got a country that was hit hard by a confluence of things that came together at the same time. You had the Petrobras scandal, decrease in oil prices, tremendous investment in that industry throughout the vertical and horizontal of that industry. So, from shipyards to pipe fitters, right, were impacted on the oil and gas side. But you're also seeing it in auto parts manufacturers, all the way through, and from the big people to the mom and pop types, much smaller operations. And again, distress leads to restructuring, leads to opportunity for investment. The issue in both these environments will continue to be finding the right deal for the right return and a stable legal regime, which these countries are both really working hard to have in order to foster investment.
Andrew, thank you so much for your insight. Great talking to you today.
Thank you very much.